dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast. New World Podcast. I don't know. I tried a new intro, but that did not work. But we're talking about SmackDown. February 21st, 2025. Joe Wade on commentary. We're in New Orleans. Not Los Angeles. Louisiana. You'll get the joke later. But man, Joe and Wade's on commentary. This was just a fun show. I gotta say, the 3-hour mark, sometimes a little bit too much. A little bit too much, but it was still a fun show. We started off, they're doing the background segments where everyone's coming in and Cody's walking in and Nick catches him and he's like, hey man, you know that 3-on-3 match we had booked tonight with you and Priest and Braun and all? He goes, yeah. He goes, you're no longer in it. He goes, what? We've been advertising this. Who do we need to talk to make sure this match happens? He goes, no, it's not who we need to talk to. You just got to smell what he's cooking. And I was like, oh, The Rock pulling trickery on Cody, and he's like, yeah. And he goes, no, The Rock wants to see you tonight. Because The Rock announced before this show, picture of a Rolex watch. They're best friends now, apparently. But no, he comes out, he's coming to SmackDown. That was the big buzz. Triple H was like, yo, anything can change. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh Lord, what do we got now? What is The Rock gonna do? I text my brother, I was like, hey man, The Rock's gonna F with us tonight. And he sure did, and we'll get to that. But Cody was like, okay, he'll go see The Rock when it's time. First match of the night, Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy No Yeet Uso. Jimmy cuts a promo. I'm really enjoying this Big Jim. He's finally getting his own. The basketball-inspired gear, trying to get he's been doing that for a long time, but still, like, trying to make Jimmy Uso. Be unique. I'm okay with the no yeet, because that's his side of things, but I really want Big Jim to be out of his brother's shadow, out of the tag team shadow. I want him to be Jimmy freaking Uso. That's what I want. But this match was fun. Drew, a psychopath as usual. Yeah, but Drew lost to Jimmy in a roll-up. I was very surprised by this. I was like, oh, Jimmy got a win. And he got a win over Mr. Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre did not like that. He attacked Jimmy afterwards, beating him up. He took him out. And he left, they're trying to separate him. And he comes back and takes him out again. Drew has had enough. But Jimmy Uso will have his revenge. And I don't know if this is foreshadowing Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. I don't know about that, but we have potentials here. And with The Rock here, who the hell knows what's going to happen? Because we have our Jey Uso versus Gunther. We have our Charlotte versus Tiffy. What's going to happen more to this show? Solo rolls up. He's met by Tamatonga Jacob Fatu. He tells... it's funny. It's like no one gave Solo the rundown. He's like, hey, by the way, you're going to be in a tag team match tonight with Jacob. Because he automatically rolls up and goes, hey, you two, I'll be out there for your tag team match. And then Jacob has to fix it. Like, hey, nah, Oos. Like, it's going to be me and you. I'm changing game plans up. Just trying to get him on track. And then Solo's like, well, I'll go talk to Nick. I'm like, the match is already made, my guy. No one gave him the cue cards. No one gave him the... All right. But we're going to have Jacob Fatu and Solo versus Priest and Braun Strowman later on tonight. We get a really fun Mellow and Truth backstage. I'm really enjoying this. And Miz comes in. He's like, we're in a tag team match. And Melo's like, no, I'm not. He goes, yeah, Melo don't Miz. Melo don't Miz, right? And Melo's like, no, I don't want this. What fresh hell is this? And Truth is like, I'll get my tag team partner. He's a Louisiana legend. Who could it be? Then we get a Zelina Vega package. I really want the world for Zelina Vega. I think she's very talented. I think it's time. It's time. We get Miz and Melo out there. Melo don't Miz. I'm going to start calling them that now. And I know Melo's like, no, please, God. Versus Truth and Louisiana Knight. Truth introduces him. He's not even from Louisiana, but Truth comes out. Not Truth. LA comes out. He's like, all right, I'll play along. I got a sandwich in my hand. I'll eat the sandwich. Throwing around beads and stuff like that. But yeah, this was a fun tag team match. But of course, here comes Shinsuke Nakamura. He's attacking LA Knight. This is I think LA and Shinsuke are destined to battle, especially for the United States Championship. We get a really cool Charlotte package, the Queen, right before the Tiffy and Candice LeRae match. Tiffy cuts a promo before, and of course, here comes Nia, here comes Candice, and this match was fun. There was a couple hiccups here and there, but it was fun for what it was. But Charlotte comes out to get in the head of Tiffy. She's like, yo, Tiffy, I'm here. We're all pointing at that sign. Everyone's pointing at the sign now. I remember when Joe made a comment, like, what am I going to do, point at the stupid sign? I want to point at the sign. But Charlotte comes out on commentary. Tiffy gets the win. Beat down after, of course. And then here comes Trish Stratus, because Trish Stratus and Tiffy are facing Candice and Nia at Elimination Chamber in Toronto. And after the beatdown, Charlotte comes in, stands by a beaten down Tiffy, and she just points at the sign, and that's just sending more of a message to Tiffy. I can't wait till that match. I'm very excited about that match. We get Cody and Damian backstage, and Damian's like, yo, man, what's The Rock doing? And Cody's like, I don't know. We'll see. It's WrestleMania season. Of course, things are going to go crazy. Then Braun goes to Damian. He's like, hey, man, really happy for you. But if I didn't have, that thing didn't happen last week with Jacob, and I would have had his number, but Solo and this and that. And Damian's like, yo, I get it, man, but I still won the match. And Braun respected that. So these two are going to go have a match later on. Then we get Byron with Naomi and Bianca. Who attacked Jada? I hope there's a good swerve to this, and it's not just Liv and Raquel. I don't want that. I want it to be either Naomi or Bianca, the ultimate heel turn. And I think we're going to get that at Elimination Chamber. Get a Liv package, and we're supposed to have Naomi versus Liv. This is what everyone was mad about, because The Rock's coming in. They had to cut a match from the show. It was advertised Naomi versus Liv, but they did it in a quick fashion, whereas Naomi and Bianca were coming out, Liv and Raquel came and attacked. Boom, 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 boom. Beat down Naomi and Bianca, and there's no match. It's The Rock. What do you expect? He's a part of the board. He's top tier. Of course they're gonna change things around last minute. And that's just pro wrestling in general. Things can happen. Things can just happen. But we'll eventually get this. I think we got the tag team championship match next week, right? Nick is with Chelsea and Piper, and Chelsea's like, hey, since Naomi and Bianca are beat down, we want in on Elimination Chamber, which I'm just like, I wish Chelsea got that Elimination Chamber spot. I really wish she did. But there's some storytelling we got to tell with Naomi and Bianca, and I think Jade is going to cause one of the two to lose their opportunity, and we're going to build that feud up to WrestleMania. Then next up, here it is, The Rock. Here he comes. Oh my goodness, goosebumps, slapping the arm. Mr. Rock in his goosebumps. Music remixed up a little bit. He comes out and he drops a huge announcement. WrestleMania 42 is in New Orleans, April 11th and 12th, 2026. Boom, 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 boom. Pyro, pyro, pyro. Now I want to get to the meat and potatoes of this. He calls out Cody. He says, I gave Cody his flowers on Raw. I told him this, but I want to talk to him. I meant every word. And The Rock, as the final boss, can do whatever he wants, man. He gets that crowd cheering, then he just shuts them down, says he's going to slap solicitous or whatever. I don't know. I think I messed up the word. But off someone's face. Like, STDs. And he's The Rock being the final boss Rock. And he calls out Cody. And this is just some weird shit. I'm like, he's giving and is taking. He goes, Mama Rock, Mama Rose, they're best friends. He's like, show the picture. Yeah, and I was like, but that's at WrestleMania. That was a whole year ago. Okay, sure. He goes, we're friends, drink Terramana, and blah, 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 2 hours. But I want you, Cody, to be my champ. Cody's a little confused. He's like, well, to be honest, I'm their champ, which he is. He's my champ. And I think we're just playing some Emperor Palpatine talking to Anakin here. Like, I will give you everything you need, you candy ass. Can you smell what I'm cooking? Then it's not my face. I'm sorry. The Rock is telling him, like, hey, I could take you to levels you couldn't even dream of. You got, a couple million on your Instagram? I got 500 million. I checked. It's like 393 million. That's still a lot of people, but it's not 500 million. He's fudging some numbers there, but that's a lot compared to what Cody has, like 1.2 or something like that million people following him. But he's telling, I will elevate you. I brought you to the Moana premiere, and thank you all for making that $1 billion. He's like, hey, I could take you to a whole nother level outside of the WWE. And Cody's just trying to process all this. He's acting his ass off. He's like, what the hell is going on? And as an audience, I'm like, what the hell is going on? But this is the line that we're all trying to figure out, because he tells Cody at Elimination Chamber, you will give me my answer in Toronto. You don't have to give an answer now, in Toronto, so we know The Rock is going to be there. Hyping that show up just a little bit more. The Rock tells Cody, I want my answer then. And he goes, and by the way, I want that. And he points towards the championship, and Cody's like, oh, this is what you want? Is this what this is all about? He goes, no. No. I want your soul. I'm scratching my head. I'm like, what the does that mean? I want your soul. So it's like, this is something you got to break down and process. This is the evil empire telling the young Anakin, hey, and this is the shape of that story in my mind, because I just hear, I want your soul. Can you smell what I'm cooking? But yeah, so it was a very interesting, strange promo from The Rock. Cody selling it like all of us at home. Like, what the hell is this man talking about? How much Terramana has he drank? Just a little bit. So he wants Cody's soul. That is the most interesting thing I've ever heard in pro wrestling. Unless it was said before. I'm trying to get it in my head, but he wants Cody's soul. And Cody couldn't process it, drops the mic, and we cut. And it was a very long segment and very strange. And, of course, you got the press conference. We could talk about WrestleMania 42 and all that, but it's a lot to digest. And I'm very interested to see what Cody has to say. And and then the response needs to be Cody, passionate, telling him, hell no. You ain't getting my soul. I am the American Nightmare. He's going to tell off The Rock. Because The Rock mentions, like, hey, you've done this, you've done that. You slapped me. No one slaps me without repercussions, But this was a very interesting segment. I want to watch it again and break it down a little bit more. Then we go into our tag team championship match, DIY versus Pretty Deadly. Started off hot, but of course it ends in a DQ. Why? Because the Street Profits want the smoke. They're evil now. They come out. They ruin the match. And DIY cut a great promo before. I'm not really digging the whole moment of silence thing and all that. But I want to see these 4 tag teams cook. So after the Street Profits cause chaos and beat down DIY, Pretty Deadly, here comes Motor City Machine Guns. And I'm just like, man, a fatal 4-way for the tag team titles between these 4 teams. Yes, boy! Ooh, the tag team division. We get a Cena package. Kevin Owens response, creepy, very creepy, but good. he's holding the phone and he's like, hey, you know, what I'm going to do to you. And, you know, I know your family and this and that. We've been friends for so long, but now at Elimination Chamber, I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to do this and that. And I will never forgive you for what I'm about to do to you. I will never forgive you. And he says, and the way I'm going to hurt you, you know, and he takes the camera and he shows his family. Sammy's in his house with his family. I'm just like, man, this is some next level fear shit right here. The movie with Mark Wahlberg. He's going to hit his chest next really hard, you know. But no, he makes himself bruised. But yeah, he does the camera and his family inside, and he's cutting this eerie promo about how he's going to hurt this man and destroy him, and he'll never forgive him for what he's about to do at Elimination Chamber. So that unsanctioned match's going to be bonkers. Bonkers. Then we got Damian Priest and Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu and Solo. Jacob, oh, this was interesting. They cut a promo backstage, Jacob and Solo. Solo starts, but Jacob cuts him off. The tides has turned. Solo earlier told him, I love you, Solo. I love you, Jacob. And it's just like, oh, how the reverse has changed. Because Jacob is over, man. People want Jacob Fatu. No one's really big on Solo, but I like Solo. So, but this was a crazy match, man. Priest and Braun got the win after some crazy shenanigans. This is my match of the night. It was less than 15 minutes, but man, it was awesome, jam-packed, and just the way to end the show after all the craziness that happened earlier. But we got Elimination Chamber March 1st. We got WrestleMania 42, 19th and 20th. Wait, no, 41. Sorry, I got my notes all mixed up. Then we have Evolve. That'll be March 5th. It'll be every Wednesday going head-to-head with Dynamite on Tubi. I don't think they're going to beat Dynamite. If they do, we've got some splaining to do, Tony, because they're not only going to be on Tubi, they're going to be on YouTube around the world. So, Evolve. I'm very interested. We started that LFG show, Legends and Future Greats and stuff like that. It's interesting. I'm not big on the whole reality show format, but this show is interesting enough to, like, grab my attention. Like, I haven't really been a reality TV show guy in a very long time, you know. Wouldn't professional wrestling be a reality TV show? No, not WWE, though. I think more, you know, that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question because it's a sporting event, but there's a lot of, like, stuff going into it, like the acting and, you know, just like a reality TV show. That's interesting. Never thought about that. But yeah, so LFG, it's good. The episode is good for what it was. I'm listening to the legends and stuff like that as they talk, and they're talking about, you know, the psychology and the magic of pro wrestling, and, you know, just the boo cheer back and forth spot you can do. That's when you know you got the crowd. It's really interesting. So LFG, I will tune into the second episode tomorrow. So I'm interested. And then we got Collision tonight. I know most of the spoilers, but I still want to watch the show and have some fun. All right, y'all. Drop your comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Grab a shirt to bum down at Walmart. My match of the night, Damian Priest and Braun Strowman versus Jacob and Solo. Moment of the night is, of course, The Rock and Cody. What is The Rock cooking, and do we want it? All right, y'all. That was SmackDown, February 21st, 2025. Joe and Wade on commentary. Drop your comments below, and remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
I don't want that. I want your soul.